Hello and welcome back. Just wanted to do a short video to wrap up the Simpson series, go over a few things, tell you how the bike performed, and really give you some exciting news about what the next adventure is. So let's get into it.
That's it, that's Big Red. Little baby's done it.
We survived the Simpson, the bike was intact, the trip was perfect. As you've seen in the videos, we had a great time, no real issues, no problems, perfect weather, perfect conditions. A couple of things I wanted to say about the bike. The luggage that I used, the Krager OS base with the OS 18 panniers, they were amazing, they were great, perfect size. I didn't have any problems. You saw in the video how Dave had a few problems with his pannier racks and things getting knocked off. None of those, these were rock solid. Top bag, that worked perfectly, even loaded up. I had my bladder on here, water bladder on top. The bike was perfect. Some of the things that really made the bike comfortable were the screen, the seat, and my wider foot pegs. Just the things that you don't really think about that just make it all day comfortable. How good was the bike through the desert? Only used 21 litres, so the fuel economy you get with these bikes is incredible. The gearing that I used, I have the 14 still on the front, on this side obviously, and I've got the 38 on the rear. So that's my go-to adventure gearing. What I found on this trip was loaded up into a headwind, even with the 550 Performance ECU, I was struggling just at times in the headwind to get above that 100, 110-ish. So got a few ideas to work on that next. But overall, that gearing was perfect. If you watch this video and actually listen to the bike in the desert, you'll hear that it's not working at all. It's just cruising. We cruised the whole time, never had any problems, and I think that was the secret to my good fuel economy. So let's talk about the tyres. The tyres I used for the trip were Michelin Starcross 5 at the front and the Michelin Tracker at the rear. Let's take a look at them. See the front tyre here, it's gone really well. You can still see, you can almost still see the ridges on the centre line. That's incredible. It's done the same amount of Ks as the rear tyre, but it's looking great. I'd happily do the trip again with this front tyre. That's the Michelin Starcross 5 in a soft, and definitely my go-to tyre for the front. Here we see the rear tyre after the trip. You can see it's quite well worn. Those centre knobs, not much left there. There's probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 millimeters there. These next row of knobs, they've been taking a lot of the wear as well, but overall it's been going really well. It is pretty much worn, but the grip's still there, and it's still, if you wanted to push it, still get a few more 1,000 Ks out of it. Quite happy with this tyre. I was a bit worried at first and the centre knobs were wearing out, but overall it's lasted really well. People have asked me what would I change if I was to do it again. You know, what worked, what didn't work. Basically, the setup that I have worked perfectly. If you look at my mods video, you'll see there that the way I've set it up is as a lightweight adventure bike, and that's what it's really excelling at. What were some of the things I'd change? Not much, very minor things. One of the things I would change, and I didn't really get around to doing it, but put some heated hand grips on. Just those long transports early in the morning or when it's cold, just to make it a little bit more comfortable. The Buckbuster Storm guards were really good at keeping the wind off, but just the cold coming through the bars, you feel it in the palms of your hands. That you know, is a little bit hard to take at times, so definitely heated grips. What broke, what wore out, or what didn't work on the bike? Not much at all. I was a bit worried about the rear tyre the first couple of days. That centre knobs, they really wore a little bit quicker than I anticipated, but once that initial wear got down to a certain level and the side knobs started to engage and get some wear on the road, it was fine. I just saw it's still got a lot of tread left. I wouldn't say a lot, it's still got some tread left and could probably do another 1,000 or so kilometres if it needed to. What didn't work? My mirrors didn't like the corrugation and the vibration, so they came off. Might have to look into something if I'm doing a similar trip with long transport sections on corrugations. What worked well, the bladder. this bladder was great. Of course I took it because I needed it in the desert, but what I didn't realise, and I used it for just sort of on a whim, was to use it on the way home. And you saw when we were out at Cameron's Corner and they didn't have fuel there. Luckily I had this filled up and we could keep going, otherwise that would have been a bit of an issue. I could probably siphon some out of Dave's bike and keep going, but just having this filled up with fuel and just sitting here, it was perfect, out of the way. Didn't really notice the weight, and just gives you that extra peace of mind that you can, you know, keep going, don't have to worry about getting fuel at the next servo. Alright, moving on. What's next? What's the next adventure? Well, got some exciting news. The next adventure is, I'm going racing. I'm going to take part in the Sunray Safari. That's happening in September, which is only probably 6 weeks away. So we need to get busy. We need to transform this from adventure bike to rally bike. So stay tuned. Coming up very shortly, we're going to go racing.